Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I have some serious catching up to do as far as sharing Rogue swatches with you guys. Every time I get a collection from her to swatch, I swatch it and all is well, and then I get like the release information and it's like, oh, they released today or yesterday. So then I will receive my next package before I can film the video. So I have been just absolutely hoarding Rogue Lacquer polishes for quite some time, and I figured I will share all of them with you in one video. So I have their Autumn Prisms Collection, I have their Tropical Trio, I have their Summer Storms Quad, their Chicago Trio, and then just some other sporadic polishes that are on their site. Everything that I have to share with you today is available now. So in the description box, I will link the Rogue Lacquer site, I will link their Facebook page, I will link their Instagram page, and then I will link my Instagram page where you can see more swatches of everything from today's video. I have 20 polishes to look at today, and let's go ahead and get started. So first we have Oktoberfest, and this is, I believe, a red-brown base, and then it's got this red to gold to green aurora shimmer and holographic flakes. So here's our first coat of Oktoberfest. This is super opaque on this first coat. I would call this one a one coater. I'm going to show you what two coats looks like today just for good measure, but I was definitely happy in one. It is going to dry dull, so I do recommend top coat, and it'll help smooth everything out, and removal's easy, but there are two coats. Up next we have Smashing Pumpkins, and this is actually a burnt orange base, and then it's got this gold to green looking aurora shimmer and holographic flakes. Here's our first coat of Smashing Pumpkins, and again this is very opaque here on this first coat. Not as opaque as the last one that we looked at, but very opaque. I am doing two coats for full coverage today. Wonderful formula. I expect nothing less of Rogue Lacquer. If you haven't tried them yet, they are a very beginner friendly brand with unique polishes, so there are two coats. Next up we have Squash Goals, and this one is a golden base with holographic flakes. Here's our first coat of Squash Goals, and again, very opaque here on this first coat. Not quite a one coater, but very, very opaque. Full coverage in two coats. The formula is a little bit on the thicker side, but it doesn't run or pool. It does stay right where you put it, and it doesn't dry down all chalky like some yellows can. There are two coats of Squash Goals. Next up we have Sweater Season, and this one is a teal base, and at certain angles I'm getting like a blue to purple shifty shimmer flash that is just not showing up on camera, so it's definitely not going to show up in pictures. But it is there in the bottle. It also has holographic flakes. Here's our first coat of Sweater Season. This one is also very opaque on this first coat. Two coats for full coverage. Again, it'll dry on the dull side just like everything else. A nice top coat will help finish this off, but nothing's going to dry super textured and nothing will be difficult to remove. And there are two coats of Sweater Season. Next up we have Books and Fuzzy Blankets, and this one is a kind of more grayed out navy blue, like if navy blue had a splash of white to it. And this one also has a like blue to purple shifty shimmer and then those holographic flakes. Here's our first coat of Books and Fuzzy Blankets. Again, very opaque here on this first coat, almost a one coater, but I am doing it two today for good measure. My videos of these won't show the shifty shimmer, but I am trying to capture them in the macro shots, so bear with me on that. You'll want top coat and removal is easy. So there are two coats of Books and Fuzzy Blankets. Up next we have Autumn Vibes, and this one is a purple base. It's kind of like a gemstone purple, and then it's got a pink to purple shifty shimmer and then holographic flakes. Here's our first coat of Autumn Vibes. This is very opaque on this first coat, but two coats does deepen the color itself, so I do recommend going in for those two coats. Again, a wonderful formula to work with, no running, pooling, or staining. Two coats does bring out more of that purple and less of a pink finish, which I did enjoy both colors thoroughly. There are two coats of Autumn Vibes. And then I have this Tropical Trio. This one is called Watermelon Daiquiri, and it's this brighter pink base, and it has these holographic flakes. Here's our first coat of Watermelon Daiquiri. This does cover really well here on this first coat. I definitely expected this one to be a little bit more sheer, but it was beautifully built up in 2 coats. The shifty shimmer is gorgeous. The hollow flakes are stunning. It does dry dull, so I recommend top coat, but nothing will dry textured or be difficult to remove. So there are 2 coats of Watermelon Daiquiri. Up next we have Blue Hawaiian, and this one is a creamy kind of cerulean blue base with red flakes. Here's our first coat of Blue Hawaiian. This is so stinking pretty. It's bright without being a neon, and these little red flakes pop so beautifully against this base color. Definitely one of the top picks in this video for me. 2 coats for full coverage, and removal is easy. And lastly, we have a Lime in the Coconut, and this one is a clear base with yellowy, kind of green yellow micro flakes. It's got these brighter green flakes as well as blue flakes and black flakes. Here's our first coat of Lime in the Coconut. This one does cover well on this first coat. Rogue does these flaky bomb polishes really well. If you haven't tried them yet, I do highly recommend. You can build it up like I'm showing today, or you could use it as a more dense topper. I was happy with the coverage in 2 coats. If you're super picky, you might want 3 or sponge it on. It'll dry textured, but removal's easy. So first we have Crackling Cauldron, and this one is a red base with silver reflective glitter. Here's our first coat of Crackling Cauldron. This does cover pretty well here on this first coat. My nails were extremely short at this time, so I did 2 coats of everything from this reflective glitter set, but depending on your nails, you might end up needing 3. This is going to dry super textured, and removal will be super difficult because it is a glitter. So there are 2 coats of Crackling Cauldron. Up next we have Supercharged, and this is a blue base with silver reflective glitter. Here's our first coat of Supercharged. This one does also cover well on this first coat, possibly 3 coats if your nails are longer, but I was happy in 2. A great formula, not too thick. Some of these reflective glitter polishes can get thick, but this one does apply nice and smoothly. You'll want top coat, and removal will be difficult. So there are 2 coats of Supercharged. Next up we have Flash Cracker, and this is a gold base with silver reflective glitter. Here's our first coat of Flash Cracker. This one has the same formula, not too thick or too thin. It does apply nice and evenly and nice and smoothly. I was again happy on coverage in 2 coats on my short nails. I do recommend a thicker top coat to smooth this out. It is going to dry with some intense sandy texture. Per the usual of these glitters, and removal will be difficult. Up next we have Flying Saucer, and this one is a silver base with silver reflective glitter. Here's our first coat of Flying Saucer, same formula as the rest of the reflective glitters. Not too thick, not too thin. It stays right where you put it, no running or pulling. 2 coats for full coverage, though this is the one of the reflective glitters that I could see potentially needing that 3rd coat for. I recommend top coat, and removal will be difficult, but there's 2 coats. But up first from the collection we have Dustnado, and this one is a kind of gray crelly base, and it's got these iridescent flakes and black flakes. Here's our first coat of Dustnado. This one is pretty sheer here on this first coat. It does have to be so you can make out all of these flakes that are in here. These iridescent flakes tend to get lost in a more pigmented base. I did do 2 coats, but if my nails were any longer, I would opt for that 3rd coat. You'll want top coat, does dry dull and slightly textured, but removal is easy, and there are 2 coats. Next up we have a Thunderdome, and this one is a inky base, and it's got these iridescent blue purpley flakes. Here's our first coat of Thunderdome. This one is also pretty sheer here on this first coat. It is in a blackened base, so again the base color has to be more sheer so you can see all of these beautiful flakes. I did stop at 2 coats, though I'm not sure why. I do think 3 would have been even better. You'll want top coat, removal will be easy, but there are 2 coats. Up next we have Shattered Lightning, and this is a clear base with blue, silver, and purple microflakes. Here's our first coat of Shattered Lightning. This one has another flaky bomb formula that Rogue is really good at. I did do 2 coats for full coverage. If you want, you could sponge this one on for more coverage or do a 3rd coat or use it as a topper. Smooth formula, you'll want top coat. Removal is easy, and there are 2 coats. So I just got Tsunami in the mail along with 3 other polishes, so I'm adding 3 to today's video. Tsunami here is like a dusty gray base, and then it has this green to indigo to purple shifty shimmer and then holographic flakes. Here's our first coat of Tsunami. This one does cover really well here on this first coat. I did do 2 coats again for full coverage. A nice, smooth, easy to work with formula, and again, my videos only show 1 lighting source. I did try to change it up for my macros because a lot of these are super shifty. This does dry dull, so I recommend top coat, but nothing dries textured, and it's easy to remove. So there are 2 coats. Now this one and the next polish aren't available on the website, but I did love them, so I figured I would honorably mention them. Here's I Heart Olives. This is an olive green base with holographic flakes. If you can find this in a D-stash, this is so stunning for fall time. I got full coverage in 2 coats, a nice disbursement of flakes. Removal's easy and it dries dull but not textured, so there are 2 coats. And here is Time of the Twins, another flaky bomb, but this one has black, red, and holographic and silver flakes. I did again 2 coats. You could use it as a topper, sponge it, or apply a 3rd coat if you want 100% full coverage. You'll want top coat, and removal is easy, and this is so stinking beautiful. And guys, that is it. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of these polishes. Let me know if you plan on picking any of them up or if you have already, because like I said, I have put this off for quite some time, unintentionally of course. But let me know if you've already bought any of these, and let me know what your favorite was from today's video. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you'd like to see more from me, and I will talk to you again next time. Bye.